We're getting another look at President Trump's private schedules via a new White House leak. Axios has obtained 4 of the president's schedules from last week. They show that the president spent 50% of his time from last Monday through Thursday in non-structured executive time. The president's secretary is calling the leak a disgraceful breach of trust. Axios has confirmed that the White House has launched an internal hunt to find the leaker. President Trump tweeted about his schedule yesterday, writing, "The media was able to get my work schedule, something very easy to do. But it should have been reported as a positive, not a negative. When the term executive time is used, I'm generally working, not relaxing. In fact, I probably work more hours than almost any past president. The fact is, when I took over as president, our country was a mess. I had no choice but to work very long hours." And here's what the president's acting chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney, who doesn't want to leave his job and get another job, had to say about executive time.
There's a report that the president spends a majority of his time in executive time, that he's off tweeting away and gossiping and not working.
No, I read that, and I get those schedules. In fact, that's probably the closest thing to a public schedule that we put out. It's not very sensitive. I think 400 people get that schedule, so it wasn't that valuable of information. That executive time is on there to allow the president to prep for the next meeting, to debrief from the previous meeting. The phone calls start at 6:30 in the morning and they go until 11 o'clock at night. So I can assure you that the gentleman is working more than what's on that calendar.
Mike Barnicle, what a joke. What an absolute,
so great.
Absolute
playtime.
Joke. It is. We have seen one account after another, one person working for Trump after another saying he often just hunkers down upstairs in the personal quarters. He spends the majority of his time watching cable news and tweeting, yelling, staring at TV sets like an old man that is in a retirement home. Instead of a president of the United States who is supposed to be working 24 hours a day. I'm sure most older men in retirement homes live far more active lives than does Donald Trump. But for these people to come out and suggest, and for Donald Trump to suggest he's worked harder than most any president before him is just an absolute joke.
Well, there you go, Joe. You put your finger on it. I mean, and who is surprised when you think about the following reality? That this president of the United States that we have, this big, tough guy who walks back and forth on every stage that he's on, pointing his finger, ridiculing people, telling people that he's the hardest working president of all time, that past presidents were a disgrace and did nothing. They nearly got us into war with North Korea, assorted other bogus charges. And it turns out, at the end of the day, when his schedules are revealed, he turns into a snowflake, complaining about the exposure and that's not really the truth. The truth is I'm really upstairs in my assisted living facility working very hard, making phone calls.
Oh, man.
A total snowflake.
Well, a total snowflake. And, you know, Mika, the funny thing is that the guy said when he was running for president, and he would tell us this, he'd say, you know what, if I'm elected president, I'm going to be working around the clock.
I'll never leave the White House.
Stuff to do. I will never leave the White House. Barack Obama golfs too much. He doesn't work enough. Barack Obama worked 10 times as much as this guy, golfed a lot less than this guy. Every lie that Donald Trump said about Barack Obama has been magnified by the number of golf outings this guy has taken, by the number of times he's escaped to his country clubs on the weekend, by the number of times he's stayed upstairs late, watching TV and just not wanting to come down and work. Historians will record, when this presidency is over, that Donald Trump was the laziest president ever to occupy the Oval Office and did less work than any other president to ever occupy the Oval